Hi, Tony. How are you today?
I am good. I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm pretty well. So do you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we're here today to practice some French. And you do French on your channel as well?
yeah. I make videos in French too. Yeah.
You want to just give us a little bit of an overview of like what's on your channel in case anyone here is interested in coming to see some of your videos as well?
For sure, for sure. So on my channel, I make videos about language learning as well, and I give like tips about how to like learn a language. And I also try to make some funny sketches in different languages. Like I made this video about like how polyglots feel like where I was just talking to myself but in different languages.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a lot of people enjoyed that video. So yeah, that's what I do, like sketches in different languages. And
So we're going to be doing some French today. I'm trying to do some French. And I have my questions printed out here because my French is a very low level. So I can understand quite a bit, but I can't really speak a lot and I can't form my questions very well. So I have them printed out as a way to start practicing. And then for people who are learning really any languages, this is a technique that they can use to practice their conversation early on in the language learning process. So I'm actually just going to read my question from here. And then if you could tell me, like, first, just hopefully you understand what I'm saying. And then you can answer the question in French. And I'll try to respond in French as much as I can, but we'll see how it goes. We might end up back in English. So my first question is, de quel pays êtes-vous?
oui, oui. Je suis, je viens du Cameroun. Tu connais le Cameroun? Oui, c'est un pays en Afrique,
Huh?
un pays africain, oui, oui. Mais je vis en Allemagne. Allemagne,
Allemagne. Quelle est Allemagne?
Allemagne, c'est à côté de la France. France,
Okay.
oui, Espagne, France, Allemagne.
Okay.
Oui, oui.
Et comment dé... I have trouble with this word. Okay. Comment décrirez-vous le dialecte français par rapport à la français ou, ou au Canada?
Hmm, le, au Cameroun, attends, le dialogue français,
Uh-huh.
mon français ou le français à Paris, par exemple.
Français au Canada. Pour- Pourquoi je, je vois, I want, right? Je vois.
Oui, oui,
Je,
oui,
je, je vois, c'est
je
la
veux,
différence.
oui.
France, la français en France et au Canada
Ah,
et Mhm.
oui, je comprends, je comprends. Ok, alors, en France, je pense que entre le français au Canada et le français en France, l'accent est différent. Tu comprends?
Mhm.
L'accent,
C'est
oui.
ok.
Euh, la prononciation est très différente. Pour moi aussi, c'est difficile de comprendre les Canadiens qui parlent français.
Mhm.
Oui, ils utilisent aussi beaucoup de slang
Ah,
qu'on n'utilise pas dans les autres pays francophones.
en Canada.
Oui, oui, en
Like,
Canada, oui, ils ont beaucoup de slang. Oui,
hmm.
ils ont un différent slang. Oui.
Okay, I don't have this prepared. So and I always start going back to Spanish. Like accessing my French is through Spanish when I
Oh,
start thinking about it. So
pas de problème.
my brain wants to go to Spanish. So the le français en Cameroun,
Oui.
comme différent à France au
Ah,
Canada?
ok. Oui. Au Cameroun, il y a, par exemple, au Cameroun, on parle anglais et français. On a deux langues nationales.
Yeah.
Euh, et avec mes amis, par exemple, quand je parle en français, on utilise beaucoup de mots anglais. Tu comprends? Par exemple, hmm, quand je parle avec mes amis camerounais, on utilise beaucoup de mots anglais. Ce n'est pas... Donc, c'est un mélange. Tu comprends? Un mélange.
Are you saying it's a mixture of like
Oui, oui,
English and French? Yeah.
oui, oui. Bon, quand je parle avec mes amis, c'est comme ça. Mais si je parle officiellement ou bien si je travaille au Cameroun, par exemple, et je parle avec des gens dans mon travail, je ne parle pas avec l'anglais. Je parle juste le français standard.
Stand, it is down,
Standard, c'est standard.
stand out. Okay.
Oui, oui, je parle le bon français, le français qu'on parle en France. Oui.
Okay, so let me try to understand a little bit in English because I understand some of it.
Mm.
So the French and English, you use them together while you're working and with
No,
friends,
no,
or
no,
they
no.
no?
With my friends. If I'm
Okay.
speaking with my friend. If I am working, it is the opposite. I don't mix them. Yeah.
Okay, right. Because I heard travail and then so it's work, and then with the okay. So when it's work, it is just English or just French, like either one or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Either just English or just French.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then so you mix them. Okay, so that's probably kind of like Spanish and English over here. I'm in Southern California, so we have Spanish everywhere,
Yeah.
and so they sometimes mix. So we have Spanglish. And
Yeah.
so I'll mix
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
similar to that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Oui, exactement.
All right, so avez-vous app- avez- avez-vous appris le français et l'anglais simultanément?
Simultanément.
Simultanément. Uh-huh.
Oui. Oui, oui. Bon, quand j'étais petit,
Mhm.
hmm, à l'école, j'apprenais en anglais. Donc, par exemple, mathématiques, géographie, biologie, tout, c'était en anglais que dans mon école. Tu comprends?
Mhm. Yeah,
Oui,
that you learned in both of them in school.
oui, oui. Mais maintenant, le français, c'était comme en- au Cameroun, le français, c'est plus populaire. Beaucoup plus de personnes parlent le français.
Mhm.
Oui, donc dans le supermarché, dans les magasins, au travail, c'est beaucoup plus donc dans la vie normale,
Mhm.
oui, dans la vie de tous les jours, c'est en français qu'on parle. Et à l'école, avec mes professeurs, je parlais en anglais.
So you speak English just with your professor and then with
So yeah, so like my school was following the English system of education. So I was
okay.
studying in English. Everything was in English, maths, biology,
Yeah,
yeah.
in English.
And then French was necessary to live in the country. Like if I'm going
Oh,
grocery shopping, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So English is like the lingua. Actually, I don't know if this is English or Spanish. I think it's Spanish actually. Lingua franca. I don't know what it is in English. These are the problems we have with languages. I don't. It's like the dominant language. A term that I've learned in one of my classes, but I only know it in Spanish.
Oh, oh,
It's called lingua franca, and it's like the main language or the dominant language.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
that would
yeah,
be English, and then you have French. That is like it's like the secondary language. It's French.
no, no, no. Actually,
No.
in my country, French is the dominant language.
Oh,
And then
but
English
English
is
is
like a secondary language.
okay.
So many people, almost everybody speaks French,
Okay.
but not as many people can speak English as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So I could speak English because my school, as I said, was like I was following the British system of
Hmm.
education. Yeah. But if I
So,
had, but there are schools that follow the French system, and if you
mhm.
go there, all your courses are in French.
Okay. So
Yeah.
are most of the schools like that over there, or just are there different types of schools? Like, are there some that follow the English system and
Yeah,
some?
yeah, yeah. There are different types of schools. It is because of our colonial history. We were colonialized by England and France. So
Okay.
both languages are like mixed in our history. Yeah. So there were some areas of the country that
Mhm.
are like completely English speaking, just like in Canada. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
But
That
instead of like in Canada, the smaller part is the English speaking part.
and a last question I have for you is quelles autres langues parlez-vous?
Hmm, je parle, oui, comme on a déjà dit, je parle français et anglais. Je parle aussi allemand.
Okay.
Je parle aussi le chinois. Mais je parle le chinois. Je peux parler avec quelqu'un en chinois, comme maintenant, je parle en français. Mais je ne suis pas, je suis un peu comme B1, B1 en chinois. Chinois, tu connais le chinois? Chinois en
It's
Chine.
Chinese, right?
Oui, oui, oui. Oui, je parle ça aussi. Oui. Et je parle une langue du Cameroun. Ça
Oh.
s'appelle Bafang. Oui. Donc, je parle 5 langues.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to English because I can't formulate at this point in the conversation. I can't formulate my thoughts in French,
Yeah.
and I keep thinking in Spanish. Actually, it's like accessing my French through my Spanish. Do you feel like that when you're speaking some of your other languages? Like maybe when you were learning German, did you use your French too? I mean,
Mm,
they're not as similar. I guess they're not
yeah.
as similar as like the Romance languages, but or
Mm, yeah.
your
I don't,
languages are also different.
I don't really remember. Yeah. Yeah. The languages I have learned are very different. Are not,
Hmm.
are like quite different from each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think it is also like, when I was learning German, I like overwhelmed myself with German content.
Uh-huh.
So I could not even go back to French because
Oh.
most of the things I wanted to say, I had heard it from somewhere. So I
Mhm.
already like I knew I was using grammatical structures, for example, correctly, but I did not know why. I just heard them somewhere and I
Okay.
knew, oh, you say it like this, you know. Yeah.
Your
Just
emotion.
like
And you learned it where you are, or did you go
yeah,
to?
yeah, I learned it in Germany. Yeah.
Oh, you went to Germany. Okay, so to
Yeah, yeah,
learn
I live in Germany right now. Right now,
Oh,
I live.
you're in. Oh, I didn't realize that you were in Germany right now.
I
Okay,
am.
that makes much more sense than that you speak German
Yeah,
over there, and how
yeah,
you would learn it because you're immersed in it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
and then the Chinese. Did you learn that the same way? Did you go to China?
No, no, no.
No.
I wanted to go to China this summer, but
Oh, yeah.
because
No.
of Corona, yeah. But I've been learning it like because I'm still a university student.
Mhm.
So at my university, they were having Chinese courses. It wasn't really very effective for me because I love learning languages so much.
Mhm.
I put in the work. So like what we were having classes once a week, right? And
Mhm.
then once when we would study something today, right? And then next week I would have already covered even
Oh,
three
yeah.
chapters ahead, you know. So I would
Yeah,
just
it's a
be in
slower
in
process.
a
Yeah.
being bored. Yeah. So I got, but I take now I take classes like on, do you know italki?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I have a Chinese tutor on italki. I had a language partner as well when I was learning at the beginning. Yeah, she was very helpful. We were always speaking in Chinese together. And like at the beginning, I couldn't speak a lot. So I
Mhm.
find it really cool that you're trying to speak this much of French because that is how I got fluent in
It
Chinese.
helps.
It's
Yeah.
helpful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it
just
makes me remember
just
my
keep on
Spanish. Yeah, my
doing.
Spanish was like this when I started. My Spanish was just like this, and
Yeah.
so it's part of the process.
Yeah.
And italki is a great platform. I used not that one when I was learning Spanish because it was so a while ago.
Yeah.
But I did have someone that I had a tutor that I worked with to
Yeah.
practice speaking, and that, yeah, it definitely helps quite a bit because, like you said, just what you do in classes, like in university, it's not
Yeah.
enough, and it is a slower process. Like you have to plan on
That's
spending several years, or at least like 3 years is our process over here.
yeah.
In the States, we have a 3-year curriculum to go through language.
Oh, really?
But even, yeah, but even that is not
Yeah.
enough. Like you're not going to be, if you just do that, you're not going to be speaking the language fluently. By the end of that, you'll have to do your own practice as well.
I find it really cool that, like in the US, for example, in high school, you guys learn like I think Spanish, French, and some other languages.
Kind of. We
Kind of.
have to take classes. We have to take 2 years of classes,
Yeah.
but how much you actually learn depends on, for just like anything, how much you actually learn of that language depends on the person and what you're putting into it. And
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I took 2 years of Spanish and finished high school without really knowing much
Yeah.
of any at all.
I think the school is just there to spark your interest in it, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Like I learned Chinese when I was in Cameroon as well. My dad forced me. I I did not really want to, but he compelled me to learn it. So, but since I did not want to, and I did not have a lot of classes as well. So after I had it for like 3 months intensive courses, you know, I think maybe
Mhm.
every day, and then I stopped. And then, no, after that, I didn't remember, you know. And then when I came here, after learning German, because I had some contact with Chinese in the past, I knew
Mhm.
I want to learn this language again.
Yeah.
And I also chose it because I could already speak 3 European languages. I could learn Spanish, but I don't want to learn so many European languages
Mhm.
that I feel very comfortable in Europe, but on other continents, I cannot also feel as comfortable as here, you know. So that is why I also want to learn some Asian languages so that I can, when I go to Asia, I also feel at home, just like I feel at home right now in Germany or in France or any other country that
Mhm.
speaks a language I speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful to learn more languages, but I find it difficult to find a balance between like learning more languages and learning the languages well.
Yeah,
Because to really learn a language, you have to be able to read and write and speak and all of those things in
that's
language, and
true.
it takes time to develop.
That's true.
So, how would you say your other languages, like your German and your Chinese, and how what is your, are you like at a conversational fluency, or would you say it's as or like close to your
For
English and French?
all my languages except Chinese are at the same level.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, for example, I live in Germany right now. I
Hmm.
have a job as a student, and my job, I have to speak in German all the time.
Okay.
Cli Clients of the company, I speak with them in German. I have to write emails in German. I have to
Okay.
do job applications in German. So I think right now my German is like as high as it is necessary. I could
Hmm.
go to a level where I can write books and be very
Yeah.
poetic, but I think that is not really necessary. For me, I stop at the level where I can work in a company in the language. I can
Okay.
also write like official documents, maybe not a book, but like an email, like send job applications with my resume, everything in German, for example, and I can do it in French as well. I can do it in English. Yeah, the my Cameroonian language though,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I grew up just speaking it with my family. We do
Hmm.
not really learn how to write it or how to read it. So I can speak it, but it is like a language that is disappearing, you know, because like
Yeah.
there are many languages in Cameroon, and many families are losing their languages because for example, intercultural marriages, you know, so they don't know
Hmm.
which one to teach their kids. And um,
Okay.
also we don't use them in school, we don't
Hmm.
use them in workspaces, so the languages are disappearing. So that is why I would say I don't really read and write it, but English,
Okay.
French, German are at the same level. And Chinese, I have been learning it for the past 2 years. So I have reached a conversational level of fluency, but I now want to take it to the level where I can work in China, for example. Just getting, yeah, exactly. So that is my goal for all the languages I learn. And I think like I can take, I think, and I usually say this, for me, I don't want to speak a ton of languages. That all the languages that I speak, I can speak them as good as possible, as good as any other one, you know. So, yeah, so if it takes me 5 years, I'm willing to take 5 years. Yeah, I just switch, I just move to the next language once once I feel like I don't need to get any further.
Thank you for coming to my channel for doing this. I've learned a lot about not just my French practice, but also about like French and languages and where it's spoken, and quite a bit more than I expected to, and about topics that I didn't expect to, like about learning Chinese and German and different topics.
That's awesome. And I want to say one last thing. I think French is a really awesome language to learn because French is like, there are many different kinds of French as well, you know. And I think that is also necessary when you're learning a language. If you can speak with people from different countries who speak this language, you know, because the way we speak in Cameroon is not the way they speak, for example, in France, which is not the way they speak in Canada, you know. So it just makes you very it makes you like a citizen of the world. That is
It's true. Yeah.
yeah.
It opens up so many opportunities to
Yeah.
work with different people, and that's part of the reason I was worried. I was like, am I going to understand this? Is it like French? Is it like France, or is it like Canada, or what?
Like I
Or
think
more
I think
French?
that is something that a lot of natives in languages that are very widespread can do. Um, they can speak they can change they can change how they are speaking depending on who
Yeah.
is speaking with them. So if I am in France, if I'm in France, for example, I would be like, oh mais n'importe quoi, mais qu'est-ce que tu veux là, c'est quoi ça? Like that, they always speak like that, so I would speak like that. And if I am in Cameroon, I would speak differently. Yeah, because depending on where I am, people will not understand.
Well, thank you for coming over here and doing this video. I really learned a lot, and I hope we can do another one in the future.
Sure, just let me know when.